This is the Stagger Podcast.
Those guys are idiots.
I want to introduce something to the fans because I've seen a lot of people very mad at Joey Logano and Joey Slogano, all that stuff. People blaming him.
Joey, most punchable face in NASCAR, Logano.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of people mad at him for blocking Brad Keselowski. Is the viewpoint that's coming out, and maybe Brad Keselowski is one of those guys. I want to introduce to the world something called. I'm workshopping the name. It's either going to be the Chase Elliott scale, or maybe we could call it the Dale Jr. scale, the Chase Jr. scale. I don't know. But the idea is this. Apply this standard to any situation and tell me if you feel differently. Would the majority of NASCAR people, the fans, the media, the Twitter bots, everybody, would they come down as harshly on whatever driver for whatever situation if Chase Elliott, Dale Earnhardt Jr., or some other beloved driver did the exact same thing? Because if not, then maybe we need to re-examine how we're talking about that. Or maybe we need to rip those other guys when they do it. I don't know, whichever way you want to look at that. But for example, like Joey Logano blocking late in front of Brad and causing that accident, if you want to say that's what happened. If Chase Elliott did that, would all of humanity be demanding Chase Elliott give an apology? My answer is no. What they would all be saying is Brad Keselowski turned him. He should have been more patient. That wasn't clean. He was reckless. Like, you know what I mean? If Dale Jr. dropped in front of him like that, oh my gosh, Brad Keselowski would have been like tarred and feathered, man. They'd have run him out of the sport. And so my point is, let's just reconsider that when you're looking at Joey Logano and saying, oh, man, he shouldn't have blocked there. Well, he's trying to win the race, too. He didn't make the best decision, but you would cut your guy some slack if it was Chase or if it was Junior, if it was whoever. So I get trying to make that block in that moment because that's all you can do in that situation. Otherwise, it's finished third or fifth or whatever it is. He's trying to win.
Your Honor, I would like to approach the bench and provide Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, all the way down to Exhibit Z of all the issues that are the times that Joey Logano has dropped down and made a late block or a late throw of his car to cause someone issue. Remember the most infamous, probably most famous interview in recent history in NASCAR where the whole Steve Burns, Tony Stewart, I'm gonna beat his ass.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
I'm going to bust his ass, I believe.
Bust
is the
his
actual
ass. That whole thing
quote. Yeah.
came from Joey Logano driving him into the infield on a restart. This is Joey Logano's MO, and it's always been his MO in NASCAR, and it comes out to bite not just him in the butt this time, not just his teammate, but his entire organization. Blaney was out with the wreck early on, or had a lot of damage that he picked up. And then now both Penske cars went into turn 3 at Daytona. If you told Roger Penske, and guess what, Roger? We know you're getting up in age. We know you hopefully you got 10 or 15 more of these, but if you don't know when the next chance you're going to get, how would you like to have this gift? After a long rain delay, 2 of your 4 cars are in the top 2, and your third car, your fourth car of the event, the 33 car, is now in a position that's going to be top 10. How would you feel? He'd say, man, I feel pretty confident about that. Yeah, and then because Joey was Joey, you had a situation where you got McDriver with the trophy now. And that's great for McDriver. That's good for McDowell and front row. I mean, Bob Jenkins and that whole team are ecstatic still. They probably haven't still gone to sleep at Monday night at 9:25 Eastern on the East Coast. But you still have this situation of Joey Logano being Joey Logano, and it cost his entire organization a Daytona 500.
Well, and I know what you're getting at, but just to kind of make my point again about this Chase Earnhardt scale, Chase Jr. scale, whatever, I'll actually add Dale Earnhardt Sr. when he runs down to the grass to make a pass. Then it's called the pass in the grass, and it's awesome.
He is the best driver that NASCAR's ever seen. Don't you dare put him in your mouth.
But again, that's the thing.
Put some respect on his name.
90% of the people...
I'm playing into your scale here.
Yes,
by the way.
I know. 90% of the people who comment on this stuff on Twitter, and I'm not being a gatekeeper, like I welcome all the new fans to the sport. What I am saying is people revere Dale Earnhardt Sr. for doing a lot of the things that we now crucify guys for doing. Like, oh, you were so aggressive. Why were you pushing? Oh, why were you doing this? Why were you doing? It's like, that's what Dale Earnhardt did like all race long. He just ran up on people, knocked them out of the way. If they didn't like it, he told them to F off. And then after the race, he was like, oh, shucks, man, it's just racing, Dale. And then everybody's like, why is he so happy? He wrecked 3 cars. How dare him? But because he's Dale Earnhardt and he earned that right, obviously. He was a great driver and he won all those championships, but he did it doing the things that people now are like, that's too aggressive. You need to calm down. It's like, no, I mean, he didn't want to run someone up into the fence just for no reason. And I do think he probably would have been a little more patient. Maybe wouldn't have done what Christopher Bell did. Christopher Bell is also a second-year driver. Now these guys are under such a microscope after 1 year or 5 races or 12 races or, in Christopher Bell's case, a season, that now it's like, how did he not know better than to wreck the whole field there? Well, I don't think he would have done that. That was not his. He was trying to push. And he made a mistake. For more from the Stagger Podcast, make sure you check us out and subscribe to this channel. We will be posting audio every day in the near future. Also, you can subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. Just search Stagger Podcast.